Bam! We are live. So, to make this very, very clear from the get-go, there's going to be no spoilers. No spoilers. That's number one. Number two, I have not seen the movie. I'll say this again. I have not seen Civil War yet. However, this person over here who I live stream with, you could maybe say frequently, he has seen the film today.
Oh yeah,
so definitely check out his. I'll mention this at the end of the video, but definitely check out his information in the comments section and then the description box down below, because he's already uploading like a full-length review and shit on his channel. But anyways, now that we got that out of the way, I haven't seen the movie. Only he has. This is going to be like I've never really done anything like this before, but we have not spoken
at all.
we have not spoken about Civil War, and so let's try and get a taste of things to come. So you got a chance to see Civil War tonight. Obviously, there's going to be no spoilers, but I was dying to hear what you said. But I was like, why don't we have the cameras rolling while this happens? So, all right, so let's hash this out, because this can't be very long anyway. Spoilers, but okay. So for me, going into Civil War, I am hoping for like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 film. I'm hoping that Civil War finally stops using weak villains. I'm hoping that that airport sequence that they keep alluding to in the trailers does. For some reason, that sequence looks really just meh. It just feels kind of campy. I'm hoping they do something special there, and I hope they do the comics justice. So, with that said, what are your thoughts as the man who has seen the film?
So I'll touch on one thing: that airplane sequence, that mark in and of itself, that is amazing. Like when I say amazing,
talking about the action sequence at the airport, where
the action sequence when you get to the airport, when they've been platforming from I think the first TV trailer all the way to like what they have now, this epic moment of where they're about to fight. There's so much you don't know. It's on an epic level just from how you get to see how the heroes have to combat each other from a visual standpoint. Is probably the biggest they've done since Avengers 1. It was amazing. I'll say this.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
Black Panther in this one is amazing. Like when I mean amazing, I mean T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, his accent, everything about his character and how he's interwoven into the story arc. I loved him. Like it's the perfect send-off platform for his new movie in every way. Spider-Man.
Oh, wow. Wait. Okay. All right. So real quick. So like the suit of Black Panther. Okay. And like how he's introduced in the film. Your thoughts on that? Obviously, you can't get specific, but
yeah, no. So the suit is perfect. I mean, the suit is perfect. But the thing that I didn't expect is even without the suit, the man is legit. Okay. Now, I loved Winter Soldier. One of the things about Winter Soldier that I really loved was the fact that in Winter Soldier, you could tell that he really was outshining everyone. They really couldn't stop the Winter Soldier in that movie. In this movie, Black Panther is a step beyond that in a lot of different perspectives. Because if you know T'Challa, you know that he's as rich as Tony Stark, he's as smart as Tony Stark, but then he's got the fighting style and the forte of being able to combat anybody, and they deliver on every note. In the suit, oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. But to actually see it with the hand-to-hand combat, with the way that Chadwick Boseman, he looks like he's trained for this. He shines in it well. He doesn't have the mask on a lot sometimes, and I just loved it. That's all I can really say.
Wow. Sounds like he's in the movie a lot more than I anticipated. Okay, and I cut you off right before you got to Spider-Man. Your thoughts on on Spider-Man?
Okay, so without spoiling the capacity of Spider-Man in this movie, he is in it a lot more than you would expect. I think a lot of our viewers have already said that he's in it, maybe in the 2 scenes or something to that illusion, but his presence there, when you see him on stage, when you see Tom Holland, I think that's the actor's name. He plays Peter Parker perfectly, and he plays Spider-Man perfectly. So if y'all know the 90s animated version, if you know anything about the good parts of like Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man, the wisecracking, like know-it-all that can do this, do that, take that in miniature form of this youth, and you have everything that you would love about Spider-Man in this movie. In the short amount of time. Like, even like, to me, this is an awesome way of being able to introduce him in, because it's not a lot that they give you, but it's enough to me to, like, I really can't wait for Spider-Man Homecoming that's coming out.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Oh God, was there else for me to ask you? Jesus, this is really interesting. I guess is there a villain in this film, or I guess there is a villain in this film, or is it just like it's just Team Stark, Team Rodgers versus each other?
So it's a tricky question. There is an antagonist. There is a villain, and with this villain, to me personally, he's used more as a fundamental push, more so than an essential threat. If you know who the character is, then when you see him on screen, you'll know like the character. If you actually know him from the comic books, you'll see like the things that he does is characteristic of the mythos for the character, but he won't look aesthetically the way that you know him to be. The thing I don't like about the villain is not the performance, is the fact that he wasn't necessarily needed to get the pacing to where it needed to be. As far as Captain America's story arc, as far as Iron Man's story arc, as far as Winter Soldier's story arc. And the thing about his character, it's like some of the decisions that he makes doesn't make sense. Or if it comes up being a good idea and it kind of falls flat for me personally. And really, that was one of the negatives that I found about it. Because one of the things I thought that I was going into, I did like a prediction thing. I said that they give me maybe a death or something that was tragic or something to potentially kind of mesh this in as solidifying. This is a step next. Because the only thing they have next is Doctor Strange. And then they have Thor Ragnarok, this Thor and Hulk. And then after that, it's Infinity War. So I was like, something pivotal has to happen in this movie. And then the other thing that I wanted was a good villain. To me, I mean, it wasn't bad in the acting. It's just he wasn't a needed villain. He didn't need to be in this movie. The main characters were the antagonists and the protagonists indefinitely. And I think that if he wasn't in it, it would actually been a better movie. Now, the thing that I'll say about the other prediction that I was hoping for that would deter or detract is I was hoping for a little bit more of an epic climactic end.
You were, and I'm trying to be careful here because I don't want to, take anything from your review. But we both mentioned that it would have been great to see, Captain America die or Iron Man to die. Those were my predictions were that neither of the two were going to die. Obviously, you can't answer this question, but
no.
But the ending of the film, or at least the back half of the film, was described as like an emotional horror film. Is that a yay or a nay, or are you kind of indifferent about that?
It's very emotional. It's very emotional.
Or I guess a better. Well, yeah. I mean, you can still answer that, but I'm also wondering, your thoughts on how they handled Rodgers and Stark.
So that was one of the things that me and Joe, when we watched the movie, we were worried, is there going to be a finite reason for these people fighting? And on top of that, are they going to be throwing punches? Or is this going to be like a fundamental reason why that? There is a real fundamental reason why they're fighting. There is an actual point where you realize somebody could die. And on top of somebody could die, like there are lines that have been crossed that they can't kind of come back from. And towards the third act, that's a really big arc that I actually really liked. I kind of predicted a little bit of it. But at the same time, like I said, there wasn't that emotional hit that I was looking for, but there is something emotionally deep that does happen. It doesn't necessarily happen to everyone, though. That's the best way I can kind of allude to it.
That's It's interesting. Okay. And then was it as dark as you thought it might have been, or was it like darker actually?
It was darker than a normal. I think that it was definitely darker than Age of Ultron, but it was not as dark as I was looking for. Like when I think of like Winter Soldier, I think that was their dip into darkness that it could be. It didn't necessarily get to that level. It was to me more of a merger of Avengers and Winter Soldier in one, and that's not a bad thing at all. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But I think that they would have just tipped the bar just a little bit over, or even just done this one little thing different, this could have been probably one of the best Marvel movies they've ever made.
Yeah, man, you got me in the audience. Blue balls, man. Shit, the film doesn't come out till May 6th. Oh man, I guess what else comes to mind? So I guess maybe your thoughts on this is so hard because there's so many things they can't answer. Well, I guess real quick, is there a post-credit sequence? Is there two of them? Is there one big one?
Okay, so there is right after the first line of like title names, there is a sequence. But after the long credits, we as the advanced screeners didn't get anything. But that's not to say that in the general audience won't get something. But yeah, there is one that, yeah. You can't miss that one. You can't miss that one.
And back to what we were talking about before, how some filmmaker, someone who was in the process of creating this film described the later half of this film as an emotional horror film. Does that sound about right?
I think that I wouldn't call it an emotional horror film. I would call it more of a emotional science fiction element. More so along the lines of like certain kind of moments of espionage that the Winter Soldier movie had, kind of like adding that little bit of extra oomph for the emotional appeal of it. But it didn't make sense as to the decisions of the villain and even like certain things that kind of happen. But it is very emotional. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a moment I was like, dang. How is this gonna resolve itself? And I mean, even like before the movie kind of came out, I was like, this is Civil War. Somebody is not going to make it. There's gonna be some collateral damage, you know? And there is collateral damage. It's just not as much as I anticipated or I was hoping for necessarily. And I think that kind of detracted my score, which I'll give you my score if you want. Just let me know when.
No, you can. That's more. Save the score. That's more reason for them to check out your review. But I guess just to wrap up here, knowing my personality, what I'm anticipating, how do you think I'll like it, and why should people care to see it?
For you personally, I think that you really enjoyed Winter Soldier, right? Did you enjoy Avengers and Winter Soldier pretty much?
Avengers I enjoyed. I gave Avengers like an 8 out of 10. Winter Soldier I thought was an exceptional film for them so far. I thought it was a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really impressive actually.
Yeah, so because of this being like a great fusion of the two, taking like, the cohesion, the camaraderie, and even just seeing how these characters work together or against each other is a big bulk of the middle of this film and even the latter part of this film. The beginning of it feels like Winter Soldier. Like the beginning of it really does. It sets up so well. It's platformed really well. The introduction to characters like Black Panther with Vision and other people, I thought that was really a serious tone that I loved. So I think that it's an even divide. Like you could probably range between, for you, like an 8.5, just because it's the merger of those two. It's just going to be, I don't know if you're going to necessarily like this more than Winter Soldier, but I can definitely tell you're going to really enjoy it. And that's really, there's certain reasons why I'll say, but I can't tell you until you watch the movie. For everybody else in general, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to love this film. I mean, the action sequences, the inclusion of Spider-Man, like a definitive Spider-Man potentially, Black Panther. I mean, everybody has a chance to shine. This is definitely one of Marvel's better movies. Like it definitely almost ranks up top 3 or 4 for me.
Oh wow, okay.
And in general, I think that the comedic moments hit when they need to, the action moments hit when they need to. It's just I wish that they would have kind of gotten past a little bit of the blueprint and just kind of went there. But I'm telling you, everybody's gonna generally really like it. The likability is gonna be really high for this film. I can tell you that.
Wow. Okay. I guess as quickly as you can answer this question, your shortest answer that you could possibly give. The last the ending, like literally like the last 5 couple minutes. Your thoughts. To tease the people, drive them crazy. What you got?
The ramifications of what happens are going to be interesting to see where they move into Infinity Wars. But it's going to be pleasing to people that love the characters, I guess.
Ooh, boy. Okay. All right. I think we should stop it there. We're at the 16-minute mark. Again, I have not seen the film. He has, and since we were going to have this conversation, I thought, what if the camera was recording when we had this conversation? So I am like, oh my God, I am beside myself. I cannot wait to see this film. It sucks that this lucky fool has got a chance to see it. But if you want to know his rating, you want to know his in-depth thoughts or further thoughts, check the description box, check the comment section down below. By the way, don't forget to hit the letter I icon up in here so you can check out previous videos. I just did a review of The Jungle Book tonight as well. And other than that, we are about to close out. You know what I'm saying? I need some sleep, damn it.
Yeah, and I got to finish this review ASAP. So I'm going to put that up as soon as I can later on tonight.
All right, guys. Peace. I will be seeing the film like May 5th, May 4th. So my review is coming, just not as quickly as this fool's. But anyways, we're clocking out, people. There's your little tasting of Civil War. We're clocking out. Peace.